Regulars. Third track on the record, is that right?
Yeah, Regulars is the third track on the record.
Okay, you've gone on record many times saying that this is your favorite song you've ever written.
I think it is, yeah. I mean, I've written so many songs that I forget some of the songs I've written, but it's definitely one of my favorite songs that I've ever written.
Why do you connect with it so much?
Because it puts into the world feelings that I can't even explain if I'm trying to like have a conversation about them. That's like the power of art, I guess, and of music is like you're able to sort of, I don't know, within the lyric of Regulars, you have like a longing to be recognized, a longing for attention, a feeling of being an outsider, and like a sense of sarcasm about the whole thing, questioning what is normalcy, like who are the regulars. Like it just, I feel like, and you never even really get a resolved answer. Like it just brings up a lot of feelings deep feelings that I have about being alive and that I think maybe a lot of people have. And musically, it's an interesting structure. It just, I don't know, it's the song that always gives me chills, and it's the song that I think if I like died tomorrow and I wanted someone to play a song of mine at my funeral, it would be Regulars.
Good to know.
Good to know.
Very well may happen.
Just wait till I show you guys.
You once showed me a Feist album. Feist, I think is how you say it.
Yeah.
And you said like that was one of your references for the record. And I feel like I hear it in the Regulars. Would you agree with that?
Well, Feist, I mean, I actually didn't think about Feist as a reference till after I made the record. But when listening to the sound of Cape God, it reminded me of the way that I felt listening to Let It Die, which was Feist's record that, it was her first record that got her like really noticed, like Musha Boom was on that. And it was just, it felt like such a unique sound at the same time. And this, Cape God doesn't sound like Feist necessarily, but it has that sort of freshness and that minimalism and that clarity that I got from that record. So, and I also feel like it sits in the same space. It's pop, but it's like, it's truly alternative pop, I feel, this record. I don't know if I could really give my other bodies of work that label and stand behind it 100%. I feel like this is truly alternative pop.
On that note, Regulars probably being the most stripped down song on the record, probably. Were you anxious about releasing it? Since it's, I mean, Super Sunset was like a synth bonanza.
Yeah, Super Sunset was a synth bonanza, but I mean, Regulars, I guess because it has an acoustic guitar as the main element of the song that sort of stays through the whole thing. It sounds more live than anything that I've ever done. I wouldn't say that I was particularly nervous about Regulars compared to other songs in the record. I definitely thought about how will my fans respond to this sound that isn't synth-based anymore. But not surprisingly, they totally understood it and felt that it was still very much who I, Allie X, am. So, Regulars was written in that same 4-day trip that I had to Stockholm. So Fresh Laundry was written on the first day, pretty much in completion. Like what you hear now isn't too different to what we had at the end of day 1. On day 2, we started writing Rings a Bell, finished it on day 3, and then on day 4 we wrote Regulars, almost in completion as well, like full structure, full production ideas, full lyrics. I think that was like a 14-hour session, but we were just so excited. And yeah, it was a pretty magical week. It doesn't normally work like that, where you just have such a synergy going and such a, like, every song kind of worked. And I remember after I did Regulars, I had a really early flight to catch, and I was stoned, and I went to lie in my bed in my Airbnb in Stockholm, and I just put my headphones on, and I was like listening to all 3 of those songs, and I was like, I just started crying because I was like, I think this is really good. I was like, this feels so, like, I was just so proud and excited about it, even without knowing like that I was going to do a whole record, because I didn't know that at that point, and I didn't know what my team would think about it. But it was a really like magical week. The line, "Thank you, mother, so lucky that I'm balanced now," that was like, I mean, it was definitely a sort of dry-witted line, like a bit sarcastic. I think it was sort of like when I was in high school, I struggled a lot, and I think my parents always wanted me to be more balanced and to feel a bit happier and to just be a little more like my sisters. And they're all great. I just wasn't like them, you know? So I think that was just sort of me like tapping into I was just being sarcastic, I guess. And not in a mean way, just sort of like, in almost like I'm never gonna be balanced. So like, I'll just joke about it.